Hardcore! Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
As you look around this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, does this look familiar? You believe the place was called Precinct 41. It was also filled with...
Huh? You got a problem with...
Not quite there yet. Push on.
You saying we don't help people?
They don't know, man. They weren't here.
Congratulations on the graffiti removal. All I see is you sitting around talking about money.
So what?
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick. Just don't antagonize him. You have this already.
Titus?
She stops mid-sentence. That...
You wanna help her, cop? Fine. I'm gonna let you. If you don't, if you question...
What is her name?
Glacia, I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags. A real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit. Blonde.
Shit. The girl. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. Remember what you said to her? You told her you want to have. You inexplicably...
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
As you look around this room full of sweaty men, You believe.
Huh? You got it.
Not quite there yet. Push on.
You saying?
They don't know.
Congratulations.
So,
Just don't antagonize him. You have this already.
Titus?
She stops mid.
you wanna help her, cop? If you don't,
What is her name?
Flossia, I'm.
Shit. The girl. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. Remember what you said to her? You told her you inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, but no one notices. Your spine is too damn straight. None of these people would ever suspect you've met her. Whatever you do not tell him you know her. That would sound off. Calm, normal. Try to forget this little hiccup.
Relationship? There was no.
Was like that karaoke incident all over again.
Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your stated investigation.
He did it before we killed him.
It would help if we establish a timeline.
All right. 2 weeks, maybe?
Here you go, boss.
I know her.
How well do you know?
A small twitch in the corner of...
Well enough, Copper.
He tries to make it sound real casual, but the muscles on his neck tighten.
You mean Revachol? Nah.
Don't you give her any more trouble. She's just had... Shut up, Angie.
Titus, what's with all the silences? It's like these guys don't know how to feel about this. You should keep picking at it.
What do you think I meant? Yes, yes, and no. Got something to say about it? God damn it. Get it over with already. What do you think I'm? Yes? Yeah. No, we just fucked. That's all. I'm not gonna.
He really went out of his way to seem comfortable with this topic. That's all you're gonna. He's doing a good job here. A commendable performance of I don't give a shit.
You don't know her. Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Establish.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
As you look around this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drink, you believe.
Huh? You got a...
Not quite there yet.
You saying?
They don't know.
Congratulations.
So,
Don't let. Just don't antagonize.
Titus?
She's
you wanna... If you...
What is her?
Glacia.
shit. The girl. You inex.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Establish authority.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Establish.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Establish authority.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Establish.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
As you look around this room, you believe.
Huh? You got...
Not quite there yet.
You saying?
They don't know.
Congratulations.
So,
Don't let. Just don't antagonize him.
Titus?
She's
you wanna... If you...
What is her?
Glacia.
shit. The girl. You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, but no one notices. Your spine is too damn straight. None of these people would ever suspect you've met her. Whatever you do, do not tell him. Calm, normal. Try to forget this little hiccup.
Relationship?
Was like that cat.
Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your stated investigation.
He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again.
It would help if we establish a timeline.
All right. 2 weeks.
Here you go, boss.
I know her.
How well...
A small twitch in the corner of Kim's mouth. He has a hunch about.
Well enough, Copper.
He tries to make it sound real casual, but the muscles on his neck tighten.
You mean Revachol? Nah, she's an immigrant. Or a drifter of some sort. Been staying here over the winter.
Don't you give her any more trouble. She's just had some bad luck, that's all. Shut up, Angie. She doesn't need your help.
Titus gives them both. What's with all the silences? It's like these guys don't know how to feel about this. You should keep picking at it.
What do you think I meant? Yes, yes, and no. Got something to say about it? No, we just fucked. That's all.
He really went out of his way to seem comfortable with this topic. He's doing a good job here. A commendable performance of I don't give a shit.
Remember what I said. Freight train of.
The door is
Who is it?
tired, controlled.
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open. I'm drying my hair.
Sounds like This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there. It's been used quite a lot. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves, sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners.
Anything of note?
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Nacra, this is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around. The lieutenant glances at the rows of pills, then at the door. Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how. This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo. Smooth as ice. There are spots following your lead. The lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
Looks like it, yes.
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of you catch a single white flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. It's a Maybell. The young woman looks at the Maybell in your hand. Just a glance, then takes a drag of her cigarette. The lieutenant gives you an acknowledging little nod. The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. It's barred from the inside. You hear the bar rattle in the... Sounds like it's heavy too. Must be something valuable inside to go through the trouble of protecting it. The door is very sturdy indeed.
I don't know, Lieutenant Yefreiter. It is not the first closed door we found in this building. There is also your mysterious blue kitchen door. I don't know. The further we get, the more this building seems to be tied to the case. The vigilantes, the cadaver, and a number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant.
He doesn't say anything. You should have gloated.
Welcome to the roof.
Her hair is still slick from...
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she's nice.
where a ripe corpse still hangs from the tree, spotted with green and purple.
Oh yes, legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there. A third place? Interesting.
I am Kim Kitsuragi. I am a detective from Precinct 57.
Have I ever? This is the biggest fan of ostentation. Oh yeah. Life gets hard.
The chorus of the 35 single, megaphoning the entire human race, instills you with the fuck it all swagger that prompts one to plow into grannies on your morning stroll.
That is not actually what the police are. Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man who was hanged.
Huh. I see.
Be careful. Ask something else first. When you go there, use words like, I hear you have been through something difficult.
Clausier Amandou.
Same name that Titus gave you. Her birthmarks also signal Oranje. You don't know why, but Oranje's girls tend to come.
Right, sir. Vredefort, Republic of Oranje. A bad memory, officer. It's the past.
Thankfully, it's implied.
I'm 28. Something stupid. Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university. Fear of failure.
If that's true, then Revacholian lit would fit you like a glove.
Nothing. I do nothing with it. It's not very cool, but what can you do? I'm afraid you can't.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location.
Thank you for your candor.
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream...
She seems to be telling the truth, sire.
Look, officers, I like this place, but I don't want to be stuck wondering. I don't want to become an indentured servant in a brothel on Boogie Street.
There are plenty of other reasons for hiding your documents from the law.
It's also why
Why else?
I'm an unpopular girl. The kind of hurry where you can't afford to not find your documents. But I would love to change the subject. It's not important.
Didn't she say you would have to interrogate her before? And that she didn't do it? What was up with that?
Phew. Okie dokie.
If any of this made her nervous, it certainly doesn't show in her expression or her movements.
The record. So official. Yeah, it's pretty deluxe. I'm wintering.
How long have you been?
About 4 months.
The bills downstairs concur.
Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol? I always wanted to see the only city in the world in the...
This is by far not the only reason she's here, and she isn't really hiding it either.
How long?
About...
The bills...
Here in the Whirling, here in... I heard this is where the washed-up disco has-beens go. I'm really not. Thank you. I've put a lot of...
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol. No, don't listen to the stiff. Be cool.
With money, sir. It's not exactly the anti-star...
The anti-star is, or was, a Vespertine rock and roll star who liked to do drugs. He did so many drugs.
Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to...
Better safe than sorry. Very funky. I have no idea, officer. It is.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook.
Okay.
Watching herself reflected in the bedroom window, tall and sparkling and draped in smoke.
Something difficult? I've been through at least half a dozen difficult by sexually assault.
Yes.
It's a bit early in the morning for rape, isn't it? Is it? It is afternoon. Yeah.
By him, she must...
Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, you know, if they want to jazz.
It's all very organic. Her mannerisms, by they, she...
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you...
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. Pretty much.
Warming them.
I'm 89% sure. Cool.
She sincerely thinks it's very cool of you.
We partied. With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that. Oh, it is.
What did you do?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite a little.
How did you two meet?
Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment.
She appears aloof, but that scar part, the scary, is stressed.
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that. Oh, yes. I have multiple viewpoints.
You called us.
Yes,
Jackpot.
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Revachol, miss.
Because I couldn't handle it anymore. None of these people called. I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the lens with nail clippers. And I diverted.
So, she's God's mystery phone cutter.
Did I? Fuck.
Jigsaw falling into place. This is satisfying.
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was
We're not entirely convinced about that answer, but okay.
Thank you for making the call.
I didn't want to, sir.
We will move the body to the morgue today, miss. Don't worry.
I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here.
And his role in this strike?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the U.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
They're frequent guests. Over drinks. A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had...
I have. Which ones, sir? I don't remember.
Could that have been part of the reason they hanged him? Don't be tactful. She doesn't care. She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and...
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth. She looks at the dried petals in your palm, then lightly touches one. With chipped white polish covers the nail.
Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style? A martial art, sir.
Samurai boxing, or sambo, graceful martial arts stuff. Sambo.
All right. I like it sudden. Why not? I'll be here until...
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Half their reasoning just was nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was... What else could she have done?
You would have caught it.
If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her. You think so? She seemed forthcoming. The best liars are always forthcoming. Anyway, we should move.
Six crumbling petals rest on your palm. They're white, a bell-shaped crown.
This is the Insulindian lily, called Maybells or Lucille's tears during the Revolution. Girls used to pin these on soldiers before sending them off to battle.
This flower is a spring flower, but it's a bit early for that, isn't it?
Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. The revolutionaries, so the commoners and the it's about girls and boys more than sides. Girls sending off boys who are going to their deaths, then also dying themselves in the ruins from dysentery and consumption. Yes, but not these early, not to my knowledge. It looks dried, preserved.
The petals... The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card. Issued. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased or his family member.
notes are still hanging around. What is it now? Fuck! I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
You've hit a nerve. Titus is furious. No, more than that.
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand it.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know.
This is a diversion. Stay on track.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn... And you went and pushed her.
Hit you. Duck.
Titus Hardy!
Success. Titus backs off.
Everett personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south...
When she's angry, she emphasizes the S. It gives her voice. Frankly, it's a bit terrifying. Someone has to rush in to break the tension.
Look, Copper. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. Show it to him, T.
Here, jerkwad, listen to this shit, and then come back and tell me.
Another apocalyptic act. This is their last play, this tape. Their story is in tatters, a mess. It might be nice to listen to, but at this point, you don't need to.
You don't care about evidence. The fuck...
Pigs, T. They don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting...
I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't...
There's a lot of questions. If you ask them now, they'll just keep bringing up the...
What's on it? We call it the Dorgun a mega mix. You'll know why. You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb. We have machines. We're in logistics. How do you...
Understood?
Since way before their...
Things got nice and quiet after that.
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's...
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth...
I'm sure we can find a tip.
Where can I listen to this? What?
Yeah, play it with your ass, cocks.
I'm sure we can find a tape player. It's not...
Your room had one. Or maybe it's too broken.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardy. You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader. You push, command set, and the tape stops.
This isn't Revachol. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
The harbor. That's the son of a Kvalson crane.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice room. I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance. Never did get that taste out of my...
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arrete on your porter reel. The tape stops spinning.
End of recording. It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor wall. Indeed, but
There's more going on here than we know.
one of the other mercenaries, I think. The one he was talking to. A village on the Samaran Isola in South Safre. Who knows?
A symbol of soldier of the apocalypse style conduct in a civil environment.
I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
She puts her with a soft ring as the porcelain meets the metal tape.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions, only that he was never bad to me.
She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused.
Where did...
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via a de-encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style? Yeah. That was practically his pickup line. Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style? He liked the way it sounded when he said it. As to Kohoi, he wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his everything. No, I'm pretty sure he did all those things, and then had to internalize them to keep on living, until they just sort of turn into his,
She's quite observant about the human character, trained to observe, even.
running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's, it was like the Seminoles conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezut all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower. We're all scraping up any happiness we can find, officer. Going around with our little scouring sticks. You, your first love.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? He and Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
There is a small measure of pride in her that she could quell the rage in such a being. What kind of man was he? Before you go, ask for details. She seems okay to talk about it.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Luck for his...
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Le.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was...
Lelystad. That's a good start. It just occurred to me, colleague. We still haven't performed the field autopsy on the deceased. The questions I have assume some kind of foreknowledge on our part. I suggest we go and perform it now, and return once we've brought ourselves up to date. Miss, excuse my colleague, he has recently suffered brain damage. We will now go and do our duty, cleaning up the deceased. You won't have to look at that site much longer, I promise. We will return soon.
There is no talking him out of this. And no, the incident has not had a good effect on his...
The clowns are still hanging around. What is it now? And
He tenses immediately. Chest tightens, jaw sets, ready for another blow.
that fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape.
That fucker wasn't aimed at you. It was at her.
Fucking fuckity fucker. And what did she say then? That it's fine. People are supposed to be like that.
Sounds like he wanted it to change her mind about the hanged man. This is definitely personal.
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Funny? No good God.
Seems like they wanted to give Claudia a second chance to play along. She still didn't.
All fucking righty then. I guess it's good then. That fucking.
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawman?
You don't have to say everything out loud. Just mix and match.
Yeah, they're all queers. Can't bump, hard fist, or anything.
That's all right, Glenn. I just thought, I thought anyone would come around if they heard that shit. Apparently, I was wrong.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
He wanted her to see the man for what he was. Now that you know, you might want to lay off this topic, or else you might antagonize him.
I just got too worked up. Big man lost his shit. It's cool now. Nah, I know her. She's just a girl. In over her head.
Yeah! He fucking told you he knows her!
I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
There's less gusto in his voice now. His men too are growing increasingly silent. They're confused. This is growing over their heads.
Come on, Titus. It's been a long day. I'm tired of running back and forth between you. I can see you're tired too.
You know what? I am tired. I'm tired of you and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her Titus said,
Fuck on!
That lying, scamming. We're done. This is over. You understand? Your little investigation is over. Yeah.
On the floor, beer drips out of the can into a small puddle. No one does anything about it.
What is this quiet funeral shit? All we need is some beers in us. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union.
Why do we make it 40, huh? Why do we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough.
100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
Convince Titus he's being manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardy will never falter, but you know someone who might. Fat Angus, the powerful guy, Mr. All Muscle. The time has come. Put him in the Just remember, it's about more than Glasia. It's about these men and Martinez, their district, their responsibility. Huh? He'll get it. Go on.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
Goddamn right, this is Union Town. You work for the company,
Fuck, Dennis. We don't kill you if you work for the company. Half the harbor...
work for the wrong company, and they execute you.
We didn't light him on fire. No one pissed on him either.
That's it. That's the weak one.
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do.
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was...
Shut up, Angus!
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31.
Does he? His closed fist is shaking. It's you who's in control.
Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler?
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her...
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
What just happened between these two? You're in. He's all yours. Questions?
Me too.
He nods.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. What was it?
We're not sure. Probably a bullet. The wound was difficult to see.
At least you'll know what to look for now, when you get around to doing the autopsy.
'Cause the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Girls plural? There's another girl? 2 of them? Take note of this. They'll probably say more about her.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't. Classier came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died. I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. We went upstairs. Sure as day the merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere.
He means they'd been fucking?
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged. Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business. You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own. They can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her. From the old world. Where they're powerful. Connected to the moral intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
That's all he knows. That's all.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing. Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue. I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his.
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Clausia. Maybe the shot.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
My dude. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns. Training. Years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell. Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do if I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
These theories, not bad. Don't buy either one, but still, this guy's not as dumb as he looks.
In a manner of speaking.
Remember the two girls? He may be talking about the other one.
That's right. It was her idea to hang him. I liked it for political reasons. It sent a good message.
The big guy turns to Glenn, who's about to say something. The blonde shuts his mouth.
I'll say it again. All the Hardy Boys are right here, cop. That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her, anyway. Glad you understand that. You do that. Hey, cop, before you go, Clausia, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection, but...
Still, after all this headache,
It's always good to see you.
something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
I understand.
Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched, her feet long and straight.
I know. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. For all of this, for...
This is good. Clear the air first. Is it? Something is off here. Shush. I can't hear what she's saying.
Why did you waste our time then?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
Is she implying the Hardy Boys are the law?
I know that. But the people around here, they don't see it that way. And if I am to stay here, I need to get along with them.
I am not.
You're right. There's more. You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time. A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon, golden grey in the noonlight. The Pearl, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, and then Oranje, the old world.
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts. Just business, but bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will...
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the... Well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her.
It's not nice, but it's not illegal.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Lou's doing County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lou Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too, along with Lou Scott and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Lowe's cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products.
Yeah. Papa fucking Lolo wants to kill me. It is. Many people lost their jobs. Not just C-suite. Ordinary people. What I did to get to accounting... A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder. We were there. Together. In bed, I mean. Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb.
Her chest rises and falls with each word. She keeps herself together and says it.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me. No, I won't.
It's okay.
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. I waited for the second shot to come.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
So am I.
She throws it away and immediately proceeds to light another one.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
$11:30 to 12:15.
It's okay. Were you...
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines.
Did you hear or see the shooter in...
No, nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there. Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby?
Ruby. You know,
The leader?
the Hardy Boys. Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of.
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power.
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
It's a shame we never got around to doing a thorough autopsy.
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does. Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did. I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later.
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
What? Why would I put myself through this? He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that.
It could have been a desire murder. He was a serviceman. He must have had a gun. Somewhere, lying around, close to her hand.
I did not kill him to defend myself from rape. I told you before. That wasn't what happened.
True, sire. 'Tis true.
I'm sad to hear that. They must have said it in some fit of frustration or under pressure. They couldn't have meant it. I've talked to them after it happened.
She simply shakes her head.
No, I specifically asked him not to carry firearms when he was with me. He only had his stupid arm. Like what? That's the first. I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
We can't go after Loose Cap. Not yet.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there. Because I'm an idiot.
Which is an indicator. Idiot. She's nothing of the sort.
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that...
Her jaw is clenched. Her throat...
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible.
Last week, Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there. Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye. She nods silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands. He's thinking, are we done here?
Officer, it's a...
But we are...
Officer, it's a fine day.
But we are awake, sire. She...
Officer, it's...
But we are...
Officer, it's a...
But we are...
Officer, it's a...
Who? What? She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately, before she further entangles you in her web of lies.
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when...
Okay. Okay, it's not. You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it. No, it's submerged in a plastic buoy on the coast, in the reeds. It just doesn't say Clausia Amandu. It says Anouk Mea Smith.
Falsified documents?
Passport and visa. Given to me by my employer. I can't even use them. My employer probably leaked the name, Maya Smith, to her.
Why would they do that?
I didn't show up to a rendezvous. They don't take that lightly. I didn't show up because I was afraid they'd do something to me. The job was finished. I'm just a liability now. West of the boardwalk, in the reeds, on the coast there. I put it there when I first arrived. Haven't been there since. I'm not sure I could even find it now. It's useless.
The lieutenant makes a note of it.
You're welcome to it. It's in the reeds northwest of here, past a broken sewage pipe, right near the waterline. It's Katarzyna Elysium.
It's a Grad name, Jimsk or Yugo-Grad in origin, not Occidental at all. Smells of motor oil, tiger, economic desolation, and rock music infused alcohol.
My parents were Zhimsk immigrants, but I'm nationalized Oranese. All I remember is Oranje. Elysium is my father's name. That's cool.
She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next.
What?
Her hand trembles. She's only pretending she didn't hear you say, devil woman.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8-100. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed.
That is the emergencies desk number. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe us.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12.
It checks out.
But I know the time of the call, too. I know I have not been 100% truthful with you, officers, but I am now. Clausia. It was my first real boyfriend who gave me that name. He never recovered from the shit we went through because of me. He was a writer. He made Oranese lit. And I destroyed him. I know I'm shit. I know. But I haven't done anything. At least nothing illegal.
Failure to aid a police. She purposefully misrepresented information crucial to the case. Fucking mind games. Enough. That's right, gang. Stern and merciless now. Stern and merciless as we reel her in. The lieutenant produces a pair of handcuffs.
Please, no.
But there's nowhere to go. A 2-story drop to the Plaza Mosaic. If she could, she would have run before.
I think I know who did it. Who shot Lely. I can tell you. I can help you.
She's silent for a second, as if looking into herself for certainty. Then, in a hut.
Ruby. She has this thing for me, ever since I met her and the boys downstairs. She's been pretty frank about what she wants. Sex. And more. I made the mistake of confiding in her. I told her I was on the run. She started protecting me. It became an unhealthy relationship. When I started spending time with Lely, she told me to end it. Said there would be shit if I didn't. It was not a good meeting. We stopped talking after that, but...
I don't understand. What exactly in your relationship made you think she's romantically interested in you?
She said she's in love with me. She even asked me to run away with her when I told her I'm a fugitive. She started developing notions about our
And you led her on?
A little. I was flattered, you know? But then I had to let her off, and it was not easy. I came to regret being friendly with her. We maybe kissed, nothing more. I know what it sounds like. That's why I didn't want to tell you before. But she knew what had happened when I came downstairs. Somehow, she knew Lely was dead. She wasn't surprised at all. When we came up here, she was calm as a stone, too. She cleaned it all up like she had a plan.
This is a familiar theory. You had it too, remember? Could it be that Ruby was covering up after herself? The lynching?
She came over one night, drunk, said she'd turn my life into a living hell. I've been threatened before, so I can tell when someone knows how to... And she's a pro. She must be. To keep the Hardys in line. I tried severing ties with her after that. I thought it had worked, but...
Some of that fear is still with her. What are you talking about? She's afraid you'll arrest her.
She could have had access to the roof. She could have come to the roof through that, then taken the shot right here, where I stand. It was dark outside. I wouldn't have seen her.
Then slipped back downstairs without...
Interesting theory.
Yes, of course. She's been up here many times, jacking private stations off the ring antenna. She used to come here to drink on the roof with me, before it got weird.
Okay, arrest the liar now. Don't arrest her. Push her a bit more, but then let her off. That she's stuck here. She's already in prison. Look around. She's only trying to help you. Her. Stop letting her distract you.
Still? But I don't deserve to be sent to the moral intern and ground into paste just because I disturbed the sanctity of accounting.
She's gearing up for a last stand. This is it.
I don't know. To spend my days with smoke, drink, and dance. Well, you have those station calls, right? Where I have to show up at the station or I'll become a fugitive. You can write me one. You don't have to take me in right now. I promise I won't go out anymore at night. I'll be right here. I know you can do that. Just let me come in on my own. In 2 months, or maybe even 1 month. That's all I...
You do have the form.
By God, she's playing him too. Like a fiddle, sire. Who would have known?
Everything could change. This city, the extradition rules, the people after me could be in jail. Maybe Ravishol could be free. I could be tried in a free Ravishol. An independent state that doesn't hand its detainees.
I find that hard to believe, miss.
I know, but...
The political gambit has failed. She looks at you in silence, her face filled with fear. Wait. If you arrest her, Kim will have to transport her. You'd be without your partner for the rest of the day. Shut up. He's making a decision, and it's his to make.
I won't, sir.
There may be grounds here.
A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around. She nods, then nervously pulls on her cigarette.
Okay.
She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath. You are. This is not the end of this.
Yeah? All right.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo. Golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes. And like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth, a ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain. From the roof outside, location A prime, the glass fractures around the bullet hole, shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back. The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points. There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago. 72%, with a weapon that's good for medium range, like a rifle or sports pistol. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium, a well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside, in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies. Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, Detective. None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any. That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez? According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime. B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, Detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on. "700 meters away, the likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account. 1.2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions, let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched. 1 kilometer away, a point beyond the docks, on an islet in the bay. The fort is ruined, but the perpetrator may have found a stable spot on the beaches surrounding it, where the concrete crumbles into the sea, as you saw in the coin-operated viewer. The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable. Kim also tries not to look at the pile of taped viscera on the carpet, or the A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression. Like the rest of you, it comes from a mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. Like the rest of you, it comes. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. Like the rest of you. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. Like the rest of you. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. Like the rest of you. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It belongs in the new, the third decade of the current century. Enough time had passed from the failure of the revolution that, for things were good, it was smooth sailing. People made gold and champagne-tinted interiors and facades to suit the times, calling this the new style. But more importantly, disco happened. Forget about ostentatious orchestrations. For Revachol, your city, that meant only one thing. Guillaume le Million. If it doesn't rhyme, you're not pronouncing it right. Out of the dazzling swirl of disco music, in an open-air boîte de nuit, somewhere in Revachol West, Guillaume's blonde mane appeared on the screen. He sang some bullshit. Then he made the expression. The click is used to spur on a horse. It also features heavily in Guillaume le Million's regional mega hit, Don't Worry. Sometimes you like to add finger pistols to the mix, because, unlike Guillaume le Million, you are a police officer. It's your nifty little way to say, I'm armed and dangerous. Everyone loved it. Maybe you thought some of the stardust would rub off on you. Maybe it did. Either way, it's all gone now. Only the grimace remains. There is a vast ocean of time between right now and the expression. Looking good on you, or anyone. 2 decades, if the calendar is to be trusted. Humanity has run aground in that time. It's a different world now. The expression is a relic. You have some understanding of the near history of disco, plus the trivia you've picked up along the way. Episodic memory, however, remains in the dark. It may never return. You should prepare yourself for that. Not really. OO must have just stirred your mind. They're more like a disco rock band anyway. It doesn't have to be. You can swoon over Guillaume and his champagne-corked smile whenever you want to. Maybe some of the stardust will return. Kim also tries not to look at the pile of taped viscera on the carpet, or the weird suitcase on the hat rack, or the potted plant. The man is finding it hard not to trip on the tape, and not to send any of the bottles rolling across the floor.
And by that you mean crimes against humanity? I have no idea what that means.